I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. A roll call.
All right. Ms. Ballenbacher?
I'm here.
Mr. Chandler?
I'm here.
Mr. Choate?
Here.
Ms. Compatello? Is absent. Mr. Hof?
Here.
Mr. Oliverio?
Here.
Ms. Pokalnik?
Here.
Mayor Perry?
Here.
Solicitor Corbel?
I'm here.
Engineer Keenan?
Here.
Director Tedesco? Here. And Chief is not here, and I am here. There is a quorum.
Great, thank you. All right, our first item is the consent agenda. So we had the council meeting minutes from November 24th, along with our bill list from December 11th. Looking for a motion to approve the December 11th, 2025 consent agenda, pending bill list approval by the Borough President, Manager, and Treasurer. Okay, Ms. Bollenbacher.
Second.
Mr. Choate. All right, any questions or discussions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay. Public comments on agenda items. At this time, citizens may address the Crafton Borough Council on any issue appearing on today's agenda. Only residents and taxpayers of the Borough of Crafton will be permitted to address the council. Comments on non-agenda items will be taken at the end of tonight's meeting. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Groups of people will be required to designate a spokesperson to represent them before the council, who may speak for a maximum of 5 minutes. Council has the option to respond or not at the end of the address. The solicitor is our assigned, our assigned timekeeper. Please state your name and physical address for the record. So first we'll take the folks in here.
Greg.
Okay. All right. Great.
Hi, Greg Wozniak, 1773 Bar Avenue. This week I had emailed you guys individually things about the Belvedere Street zoning, and some of you got back to me. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your comments and things, but I'm just asking that you take what I had given you in under deep consideration, and when you're voting tonight on the zoning ordinance. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody online, please raise your hand. All right. Okay. President's report. So we have lots of construction, less construction than before, but still lots of construction, including a lot of utility work that's unexpected happening throughout the borough. So with that, we've got, there will be traffic delays. We have bad weather now, plus we have all the construction happening. So still, again, asking for patience. Also, we have our first, I'll skip one item, but the council meeting in January. We have our reorg meeting on January 5th, where the new council members are sworn in, and we also approve all of everything from the solicitor to our engineers. However, for the council meeting, which is, and we would be voting on the council meeting dates during that time, would be that Thursday, and that's not enough time right now to advertise for that council meeting. So we could move items to the reorg meeting if there were any, and usually there are a couple items that we have that if we need them, like the bill list and things like that, which we can have on that meeting. So the decision or discussion for council is, do we want to keep that January, I think it's the 8th meeting, or have the first meeting be the next, or the next Thursday? So we could cancel or we could change it, delay the meeting. What are the dates?
So, excuse me, are we saying that basically we need how many days after it gets voted on at the reorg?
Typically, we advertise on Sundays, and typically for that first one of the year, we advertise every meeting for the entire year, and that way
Right.
we save advertising costs.
Right.
We could decide, you guys could decide on having that meeting now, and we'll advertise it now. But if council decides to change the meeting time or whatnot when you reconvene, then we wouldn't be able to advertise that meeting. it would be to change it. So it would be best to cancel it and just put everything, any topics that you need on that reorg meeting, and then have the next meeting at the normal time, 2 weeks later. It would just be easier for most, just for functionality. And then you're saving money because we'll have to advertise twice if we advertise the meeting separately. So we'll have to advertise the meeting now essentially, and then advertise all the meetings for the year after the reorg meeting.
So that's clear. So basically, do we want to have that meeting on that Thursday, which is the 8th, and then we would have it where we would have that meeting, we would advertise it now, and then once we have our first council or the reorg meeting, we would vote on all the meetings for the year at that point, which would be the rest of the meetings, and then we would advertise. Or we cancel that meeting or we, at the reorg meeting, we vote on another meeting to replace that Thursday meeting. So it's a little bit confusing. So I guess it's for the folks that are staying too.
It's basically just whether you're having the meeting on the 8th or not.
I would say if we're meeting on the 5th, we're here, let's have it on the 5th and not meet on the 8th.
I agree.
Okay. All right. All right. We don't need a motion or anything because the meeting's actually not scheduled.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Last time I had was a word of thanks. So we have 2 council members that are leaving us as of January 4th. And that is Matt Choate, who's been with us for this year, and also Colton Chandler, who's been almost 5 years on council. So you guys, Matt, I know, has seen a lot this year with zoning and some of the other things. Colton started right before me, or was appointed a month before me. So we've been on it for the whole time. And there's been a lot of things that happened in 5 years just with the borough itself. But I don't know if you guys want to say anything, but I do want to express my personal appreciation for all. You've been great council members, very heavily involved, had to make tough decisions as we all do, but you did it at looking at what's best for the community. So I want to give you that thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks, John. It's been a whirlwind year, but been a great experience. Learned a ton and met some awesome people, so it's been a great experience.
Great.
I agree. I just want to, thank the community for having faith in me and voting me in 4 years ago, and thank you to everybody on council. And it's been a pleasure working with all of you. Thank you.
Very good. Does anybody else want to add anything?
We're going to miss you both.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see, we look like jerks, we're like, No, I agree, it's been fun.
Hopefully you won't be strangers.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I say doing this stuff is like out of the goodness of your heart and wanting to give back, so I always appreciate that, so thank you both.
Thank you.
Well, I see on our agenda, maybe they're not going too far.
Right. There may be some good news. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Mayor's report. Ms. Perry.
I don't really have anything special to add tonight, so we'll just let the business keep moving.
Okay. Solicitor's report.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have one agenda item and then one other development I wanted to, legal development to mention to everybody. So tonight, following the meeting, council will have an executive session to discuss personnel and property matters and to receive advice of the solicitor. And then second, not to go through too much history, but after COVID, there was a change to the Sunshine Act that required posting the agenda 24 hours in advance and also allowed council to amend the agenda during the meeting. But there was a Commonwealth Court decision a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, that changed that, and we could only amend the agenda for a few reasons. But there was a Supreme Court case that overturned this Commonwealth Court case, so we're back to where we were in the beginning, that as long as there's a majority of council that agrees to amend the agenda, it can be amended for any reason. So that's for if you didn't know, it's for your edification on council and also for the public in case we have to. And it does happen. I mean, I know there's been a couple times where Jim would call and say, I forgot to put this on, or this came up today or whatever, and so we will be able to try to address those now, whereas we hadn't been able to this past year and a half. So that's the end of my report.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, manager's report.
Great, thank you. All right, the first item on my list is the updated zoning code ordinance. We've been talking about this since I've been here 3 years ago, and I think the community's been talking about it for longer than that. So with that, we'd like the ordinance number 1682 to amend and revise Chapter 225, the zoning of Crafton Borough Code of Ordinances, to restate the regulations regarding zoning and land use within Crafton Borough. So I'd like a motion to approve ordinance number 1682 to amend and revise Chapter 225, zoning of the Crafton Borough, or Crafton Code of Ordinances, to restate the regulations regarding zoning and land use within the Borough of Crafton.
Ms. Wallenbacher?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Hof. Any questions or discussion? So I do want to say that just even for the record, as we have several times, is that the code is 20 years old, the current code, and this process has been going on for over 3 years, and we've had engagement sessions with residents, the 30-plus council meetings that have been in between that time for public comments, in addition to several sessions. I think, what was the total? 36, yeah. Sessions, plus every council meeting in between there. So there's been a lot of opportunities for public engagement, which we thank the public for, all of their engagement, in addition to hearing from residents. We've had attorneys. The Planning Commission has met for over the past couple years about it and have made quite a few revisions to the code as it was based on feedback. So there has been, I don't know in your history, Steve, if you've ever seen a zoning code that has gone through so much public engagement.
I've not.
Okay, and you've told us that before. So we make a decision tonight to update the code that has, like we said, been a 20-year-old code. And we have all the information. We've had plenty of time to review the code as it is. So we have a motion. Anybody else? Any questions or discussions as we move forward?
I'd just like to say thanks to the steering committee and the planning commission, everyone. It's 131 exhilarating pages that I read for like the fourth time in the past 7 days. And but I did read it by comparing it against the old one. And even just from a cleaning things up standpoint, it's a significant improvement. So a big thank you to all of the folks who spent time to draft that. So.
And it also had a county review too, of course, in addition to legal and the county. Any other comments? All right, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Zoning passes.
Okay, next item on my list is the vacant. I just wanted to notify everybody that the vacant, blighted, and abandoned property list is posted on the website. It's been there since December 2nd. And there are, I think, 3 properties to add to that list that were recently found, so that'll be updated. We'll probably try to update that once a month to keep that going. Trail study, the Trail Committee has that draft study now. They got it on Monday this week. We are planning to discuss that in a virtual meeting on Monday. And then it's up to council actually where it goes after that, if it goes to the Planning Commission or if it comes back to council. But you guys can decide that either now or at the next meeting or whenever it comes to you after that. It's up to you. No, if you guys want to wait on that, we can wait on that.
So you're saying that there's the draft study,
Right.
and it's being reviewed next week by the Trail
Correct.
Committee. Okay. I mean, my preference would be that we would wait until they reviewed it to
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that.
present it.
All right. Sounds like consensus on that. All right, next item is to sell the police interceptor. We did receive delivery of a new police interceptor. It was either today or yesterday. Can't remember
Yesterday.
which. Was it yesterday? Okay. And so we've worked out with Carlington that they'll pay $18,000 for it, which is approximately what we'd get on the open market. We do think we might get 20 or 21, but and they were offering 15. We went back and asked if they would pay 18, and they said yes. So we figured, with the ease of the transaction, this is a better way to move forward. So with that, I'd like a motion to approve Resolution 2025-25, allowing the borough to sell their decommissioned 2020 Ford Police Interceptor to Carlington School District for $18,000.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Choate.
Second.
Ms. Bukownik. Questions or discussion?
Decommissioned, does that mean it's obviously no longer a police car, but what length, what are they?
So basically, all of our equipment is taken out and moved to the new car.
Got it,
So,
okay.
yeah, okay?
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, there are some features that are left that you can't really, that you
Yes.
don't remove.
Okay.
for
But
the most part,
it's going to Carlington for their resource officer, so they're gonna
Great.
probably they need some of that, like you said, stuff that can't be taken out, and then they'll probably add some other stuff to it.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions? I believe from a budget standpoint, the interceptor we had went a little bit over, but this will cover that too.
A little bit of it. We had budgeted $15K for this sale, and we're getting 18, so it'll cover 3 of the 7, I think it was over, so.
It was 67, I think, for that. Okay. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes.
I do have a quick update on that. It's de minimis, but it's 11.3, not 11.4.
Oh, thank you. Okay. We'll make sure to change that in the
Thank
agenda.
you.
Yeah.
And it was in the, it's in the document correctly, in the
Okay.
resolution, so.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. The next item on the list is crossing guard, hiring an additional substitute crossing guards for the police in the school district. So I have a motion to a motion to hire Mary Ungerman for part-time substitute crossing guard as recommended by the Chief of Police, Richard Ford, pending results of all required clearances and background checks, which we don't yet have at this time.
So moved.
Okay, Ms. Bukownik?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Hof. Any questions or discussion on Ms. Hungerman? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Now, a question for this is, do we have additional substitutes we're still looking for?
Yes,
Okay.
that's why the other one is.
Okay, they're still on there.
There's
So there's
another-
one more?
There's one more.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one more that's, that we hope to be able to hire.
Okay,
So, someone got all the way through the hiring process and then got approved through their clearances and then said they didn't want to do it. So, happens, things happen. So, and with that ends my report.
great, thank you, Mr. Price. Engineers report, Mr. Keenan.
All right, good evening. First item on the engineer's report is the Broadhead Sewer Separation Project. Right now, they are currently doing sewer construction on Broadhead Avenue, just off of Crafton Boulevard. Curb, sidewalk, and road reconstruction are currently ongoing on Warren Street, and sewer construction is going on Coulter Street. Closure of the trail portion is still in effect until final restoration takes place, and we decide how we want to move forward with the grading there. Weekly contractor meetings and updates to the Borough construction webpage are ongoing. The expected project completion at this time is still October next year. The tree removal update up right now. As y'all know, several trees were not able to be saved for this Broadhead project. 3 giant sycamores, they're mature. Right now, those have been de-limbed and are ready to be taken down in accordance with our work with Urban Tree and Land Forest right now, who will be repurposing this wood over time and at their convenience. The trail grade change order, again, this is a opportunity to take excavated fill from the sewer work that is going on right now and relocate that over onto the trail portion to help bring that up to an ADA grade standard. Going off of the last meeting, we're still looking into all the steps that need to be taken place to ensure that we get a safe and good product with this. So with that, we are waiting on a description of testing and the services needed to ensure that quality and safe product. Any questions on Broadhead?
Yeah, just the tree removal for Mr. Tedesco. Because I know they've taken off limbs, they're utilizing them, some people have taken the limbs. What will Urban Tree and Land Force utilize it for? I kind of know the answer, but.
Yeah, so this is really a fantastic three-way partnership between the Borough, including Tree Commission for Borough, Land Force, which is a workforce development nonprofit located in Wilkinsburg, but operating throughout the metro, obviously. Urban Tree is helping Land Force, and then Tree Pittsburgh, which is another nonprofit, all about providing trees mostly to under-resourced neighborhoods and communities. So there's a lot of partners on this. The big trees on Broadhead have to go because of the sewer, so Land Force is going to repurpose that wood. It takes 2 years to season the wood. So before they can even start working on it, they have to allow it to dry out for at least 2 years. And it's quite possible we can repurpose it, request they repurpose it for something for us, something wood-made. There was a discussion of maybe a gazebo in the park. At Tree Commission, we're only limited by our own creativity here. So it's a shame to lose the trees, but we are preserving their legacy with this partnership. And it has taken a bit of time on everybody's part to make this happen. So it's a great project.
And acknowledging the Shade Tree Commission for looking at all the different options and coming up with one that actually does not have a cost for the borough relative to repurposing this wood. And those trees did have to go, unfortunately. There was no way to move around them or anything because they were huge trees. So, a good result to something that wasn't an easy item.
Good. Moving on to the Perrine Street Sewer Project. This has been a slow-moving process as the update remains the same, and that is that we are still in the process of obtaining the resolution of taking from the City of Pittsburgh. And for the solicitor, the past few meetings, we are moving to a future Pittsburgh Council meeting. Next is Ewing Road. Recent gateway discussions yielded that a $100,000 solution is feasible. Right now, we are waiting on the work authorization for those design plans and bid documents to help move this project forward. We do need to do some test pits to determine if additional work is needed. If not, the overall cost may be less. Basically, they want to check to see if there's evidence of water from getting underneath the road. And if there's not, then we may not need to do drainage improvements. And we also may only need to do one lane of the road instead of the full width. So costs may go down. The expected schedule for this is to go out to bid in January, project award in February, and construction in early March. I also want to add that Public Works is being asked to assist with digging these test pits, which are slated to occur next week. So, doing that in-house. The C20 sewer separation project has essentially been completed, apart from any items placed on the final punch list. We were supposed to do that, I think, 2 Tuesdays ago, but the snow hindered that. So we're still scheduling the site walk to get out there and do the final inspection based on upcoming weather and holiday schedules. That's the C20 update.
So C20, that's Steuben Street, obviously, and Duncan and all of those. All of that is complete because I saw them out there sealing too the other day. So how it looks now is how that whole area is going to look going forward. Is there anything outstanding on that?
Like I said, we're still going to go out and do a punch list inspection, but essentially everything's been taken care of. Yeah.
Well, the punch list and one thing we're still battling them on a little bit is, the paver, which is the Duncan. We still haven't covered that yet.
Yeah,
So there's
we're going to hold retainage on that part and hopefully repave that next year.
Yeah.
So
Which part of Duncan is that?
basically between Steuben and is it Maxwell there?
Maxwell.
Yeah.
It's actually the first portion of Steuben. It's not, doesn't even go all the way to Maxwell, I don't think.
So
Whatever,
to Glen.
Street or whatever.
To
it is.
Glen.
Yeah.
To Glenn. Okay.
Yeah.
Next item is the Public Works Building. Right now, interior work is still ongoing. Upcoming work still includes drywall and the additional utility installations. Major utility work still has to take place, the PA American Water main extension and fire hydrant. Those went up to bid and were opened yesterday on the 10th. No word on who will be doing that work, but we were asked to send over our deposit for this work, and we have since done that. Still waiting to hear more on when that will be scheduled. Duquesne Lights utility work is still being scheduled as well. I was told that was being done internally and is ongoing. No update there. The gas connection is expected to be done any time now. That's being handled through the plumber. And to my knowledge, they've been going back and forth with People's Gas to get this work done. But the overall project completion date is still to be determined based on these utility connections to be done and have all been connected. But we'll probably most certainly be going into the next year with this to be completely 100% done. The space under here is meant for note taking. If anybody,
I don't think they have that.
It's
We don't
only
have
you.
that.
It's
Yeah,
only
you only
Larry.
have that.
It's for your notes.
That was on the online.
Okay, so next is the Steuben-Linden intersection improvements. This project has been completed with the exception of the as-built survey requested by PennDOT and is being finalized at this time. Final pay application has been received, telling us that all the work has been verified and been completed according to the plans and specs. Next is the 2025 Crafton Sewer System Repairs, Operations and Maintenance, O&M. All the contracts for this year have been completed, and right now we're just waiting on the work authorization for next year's work. Next is the 2025 road paving and brick plan priority. First item, the Brick Street Repair Project. This project was awarded and will begin construction next year in April. The project involves priority areas including Brick Street, curbs, infrastructure, and concrete header repairs. Right now, the signature pages for the contractor to be signed are also being put together. But the impacted streets included below are Clearview Avenue, Middle Street intersection, and 3 other areas along there. North Grandview Avenue in front of addresses 8 and 10, North Grandview. Bar Avenue around the manhole in front of 1769 Bar, and on Belvedere Street in front of 82 Belvedere. Road paving as part of the Broadhead Sewer Separation Project includes the following streets: Crafton Boulevard between Broadhead and the Trail Entrance, Broadhead Avenue, Warren Street, Park, Coulter, Cornell and North Linwood are going to get brick trench repaired. North Emily Street and Belvedere Street also on this list.
Are any of these done? I know they're working on Warren right now. Are any of the other ones complete or no?
I mean, Crafton Boulevard has its paving, trench restoration done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's really it. Last item on the agenda here is for permit applications. Newly received permit applications for street utility work, the road construction and excavation section, PA American Water. On Locust Street, they were doing a water main replacement project, 400 feet by 2 feet. That work has been completed. And on Taylor Street, which is upcoming, between Broadhead and North Grandview, that work is 800 by 2. And that work is actually slated to begin on the 15th. Did send out a Savvy post recently to let residents know about that. And on 26 Gray Street, having an 8-foot by 4-foot impact. People's Gas, having a repair at 28 Emerson Avenue. No dimensions were provided, but the work will be happening in the sidewalk and the driving lane there. And sidewalk construction repair, Duquesne Light, having a strong presence upcoming here as they have been. Might be moving, and I don't know. But, a bunch of utility poles are getting replaced. 305 Glen, 125 Haldane, it's getting 2 of them replaced. Montana Street, Crafton Boulevard between Duncan and Afton, 23 Haldane, 1 Coulter, 56 Belvedere, 50 Park, 156 Chartiers, 18 Maplewood, 40 Maplewood, 26 Maplewood, 107 Haldane, 144 Promenade, 70 McMunn, 71 Haldane, the rear of 314 Mueller and Alley B, and 5 Lincoln Avenue are slated to get new utility poles.
Do you know why they're doing that?
I think it's just to modernize.
Just modern?
Yeah.
What are they going to have different than what they have now?
It's just a new pole, and I mean, these are all Duquesne lights, so really the process, they go out, they bore for the new pole to go in, install the new pole, then they'll install their utility onto the pole, which may include a street light, it may not. And then from there, it takes communication and coordination with the other utilities like Verizon and Comcast to move their utilities onto this pole. So it's also a slow process to get the old one out of the ground. But
So they put the new one in, then they keep the old one in there too, and then they take the old one out and connect everything to it.
correct.
So they're not in the same spot?
I mean, they're right up next to each other.
Ah,
It's just,
okay. Okay.
I mean, it's over the course of the next month or two. Yeah, the dates vary because they're all different permits, so.
And will residents experience any shutdown of electricity or cables or anything else?
No, we haven't gotten any calls about this, about or electricity being cut off from utility pole installations, so I would say no.
Okay.
And if they would, I would think it's very temporary.
Yeah, I think they did one right in front of my house over the summer, and it was, I want to say they said that the power was going to be shut off, but it never actually did go out that day.
Did you get notice that day that it was going out, or did you get previous notice? Do you
Previous notice, but I can't recall how, it was either a day or two before. They
Okay.
came and knocked on doors and left door hangers and cones and things of that nature out.
Okay.
Yeah, which has been pretty typical with any work in the borough. Contractors are expected to let any residents know that work is going on that may be impacted by what's going on, so.
Great. So again, this is additional work in addition to all of our sewer projects and everything else.
Correct, yeah, along this and these water main extension
Right.
or water main replacements that PA American is doing, it's all, at their discretion, really.
Yeah.
So.
Some of these are in that area, in the same area too. that we're having.
Merry Christmas.
What'd you say?
I said Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we have been getting some calls about some of the contractors not contacting 911 when roads are being closed, and one of the changes we made is on the permit application, we did add an additional note, bolded, underlined, saying that anyone that is going to be closing a road for any reason whatsoever at any time needs to be contacting 911, non-emergency, letting them know. So,
Great.
just FYI on that. That concludes my report. Anything else?
Good report. Thank you, Mr. Keenan.
Thanks.
Great. Community and Economic Development, Mr. Tedesco.
Good evening, everybody. Just a few quick items. Planning Commission has not had meetings since October due to a lack of agenda items. I'm sure we'll meet in late January. The next regular meeting is January 27th, so more updates to come there. Item B, 82 Belvedere conservatorship conversation. This is probably the most detailed part of my report. As you know, there is a committee on this, including Mr. Choate and the two neighbors on both sides of the 82 Belvedere property. We met 3 weeks ago now, I believe, and reviewed the two proposals to purchase the property. Everybody's in consensus that the proposals are underwhelming. The committee immediately kind of kicked out one proposal, and we're looking to schedule what I'll call an interview with what is the competing proposal right now. And that's scheduled for Wednesday of next week over lunch, so more to come at the next council meeting. I think it's fair to say, Matt, jump in, but the committee is underwhelmed by both proposals. So we're going to poke and prod on the most competitive proposal to see if we can improve upon it, and we'll see where the conversation goes.
Yeah, they were not, some of them weren't very detailed, and what was there was the price is pretty low, so we had a lot of questions for the one contractor on schedule and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Next week.
Next week. The LSA grant, Jim, you want to take this one? I know we're moving forward. The vegetation has been selected, but that's about all I know.
Yeah, we are waiting on Gateway to give us bid docs and whatnot for the rest of the project, which are 4 additional lights on Crafton Boulevard, the EV chargers for the school parking lot, and than the rest of the vegetation.
Trees.
Trees,
Yeah, the
yeah.
trees.
Yeah.
But the school has already planted, I can't remember the invoice, it's been
Juniper
hundreds.
bushes, like,
It's hundreds of
yeah, a bunch of
plants.
juniper bushes and some other stuff.
blueberry bushes.
Blueberries.
I can't remember all of them, but there's been a ton of that. And that helps with Tree City USA and also adding tree canopy to us, especially with the other additional trees. And that's all through grant money.
Yes, and this is a good segue into the item D, but, the Tree Commission has really done a great job of taking the initiative and collaborating with outside entities. In this case, for the LSA grant, the school district, and it's really, the efforts of the Tree Commission trying to get this done, so really great job. On the subject of trees, on the 9th, was the 9th yesterday? It was 2 days ago. Tuesday, thank you.
Right.
Public Works and Tree Commission members did an excellent job of planting trees at 12 homes. I believe Mr. Hof got one of those 12, and 3 trees at Crafton Park. Took them all day, no breaks. 12 trees doesn't sound like much, but it's a job, and they are mature trees. And so they were big and heavy and took real equipment to get them planted. So excellent job on that. And just a reminder to anybody who might want a free tree, the borough gives out free trees.
For your front yard. For your front yard.
Yes.
Near the tree line.
Yes. Yes. Growing the canopy. So contact the borough, me specifically, if anybody wants a tree. We'll get you on the list for next year and make it happen. Really quick, on the same topic of trees, I sent out, I believe, 22 letters for tree maintenance. Tree Commission goes through annual pruning and maintenance and some removals. It's going to be a little later than anticipated, it appears. We were aiming for December maintenance with crews being out there, but it may drift into January, so I'll work with the property owners on that and make sure they know. But so crews will be out doing tree maintenance, hopefully this month, but we'll see.
Great. Great. Thank you, Mr. Tedesco. We'll go to the standing committee reports. So Finance, Administration, Sustainability, Mr. Hope.
Thank you. At the budget workshop prior to this meeting, we did report on the account balances, but I'll reiterate them again for this meeting. So, being that it's the final council meeting of 2025. So, account balances through November 30th of 2025. The general fund has $925,000 in it. The general fund reserve has $967,000 in it. Road fund, $5,000, but the road fund reserve has 1.3, almost 1.4 million. Liquid fuels fund, $249,000. Sewer fund, $57,000. Sewer fund reserve is around 1.6 million. Bond fund, $781,000. Total funds balance, $6,222,929. Now, granted, that's not where they're ending for the year. I'll report that in January once we have final totals. But going into the 2025 budget financials update, overall, we've been watching the budget to actuals throughout the year, and it looks like general fund income or revenue is going to be a little bit short, as we previously reported, by about a little over 6 figures, like 125,000 roughly. We'll see where that finally ends up, and this is largely due to the trash collection miss budget. But overall, the general fund expenses should be close to flat, as we had planned them to be for 25, so that's good. Road fund is near balanced as well. But the sewer fund looks like it's going to be coming in under budget. So overall, the combined budgets overall should be in the black. That's what we're expecting. We'll continue to get final numbers when we do a review, hopefully in January for hopefully the first Finance Committee meeting, but we want to make sure we have all the accurate numbers to kind of do a year-end total and see where we landed. So more on that in 2026. The police collective bargaining agreement, there is no update. The police are reviewing currently, so we're waiting on them. Auditor, looking to appoint I can never say it. Here goes marbles. Maurer Dussel as Crafton's financial auditor for fiscal year 2025 for an amount of $20,150, which is budgeted. So I'd like to look for a motion to approve Resolution 2025-26, appointing Maurer Dussel as Crafton's financial auditor for fiscal year 2025 for a budgeted amount of $20,150.
So moved.
Mr. Chandler?
Second.
Ms. Bolenbacher? Any questions or discussion? They've been our auditor for how many years?
At least the 3 years I've been here, I don't know how
For
long.
quite some time
Yeah,
before that.
I
I think the whole time I've been here, and I think they were not new when I came.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to the 2026 budget resolutions. Millage rates, AKA taxes. With that, I'd like a motion to pass Resolution 2025-24, setting the Crafton Borough property millage at 8.59 mils for real estate taxes, no change from 2025.
So moved.
Mr. Chandler?
Second.
Ms. Bolenbacher? Any questions or discussion? This will be our 6th year of no millage total increase. So everybody would have paid, this doesn't include county or anything else, this is Crafton Borough real estate tax, that it would be our 6th year of no increase. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
All right. Moving on to 2026 fee schedule that we did discuss briefly in the budget workshop prior to this meeting, but be looking for a motion to pass Resolution 2025-23, setting the Crafton Borough fees for 2026.
So moved.
Okay, Ms. Polkownik?
Second.
Mr. Chandler? Any questions or discussion? All right.
I was going to say no discussion, but I know that you just mentioned we did have an opportunity to review this prior. Our budget meeting was at 6. It ended a little early just for everyone in the room and listening. So I think we had a solid 30, 35-ish minutes plus discussion time if anyone had any questions to review this. So I'm just putting that out. That's why I'm comfortable with having the opportunity to review. And it was shared prior, so.
Yes, by Monday.
Yes. So we've had time.
And
The majority of these fees haven't been updated in 20 years.
20 years.
And manager did a nice job of going through them all and indicating which ones had been updated and which ones are frequently seen and rarely seen and things like that. And overall, there's an increase on a lot of the ones that haven't been increased in over 20 years, which I feel like is in line and makes sense. So.
yeah, and part of that discussion, these fees are anything that the borough charges to anybody to do anything. So this would be room rentals to putting in signs in the yard, all of those kind of things are all in this fee schedule. And like Mike said, 2005 was the last time many of them were actually even increased.
Well, to be clear, I didn't go back further than that. So it could have even been longer than that. That just happened to be the one that was most complete that I was able to compare it to, so.
And things around this are staff wages have gone up, inflation has tackled all of that. So the increases aren't that big, but they are something that we need to do at this point.
And I'd make a note that we can update these fees throughout the year too. This is not an end-all be-all.
Yep.
If we feel something is too low, we can adjust it. So.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Okay. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
All right, and the last and the biggest one on here, the 2026 Crafton Borough budget for 4 funds. We've had a lot of budget workshops that began in August? Was that the first one? Late August?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or September.
Yeah. Oh, That many that we can't even remember.
Oh, is it August? Okay.
Yeah, I think it was on.
Yeah. So we reviewed those again at the beginning of this meeting briefly, but we've been talking about them so much that we're all pretty familiar. So I'd like a motion to adopt the 2026 budgets for the general, road, sewer, and capital improvement funds as advertised, appropriating specific sums estimated to be required for the specific purposes of the borough government set forth during the year 2026.
So moved.
Ms. Bolenbacher?
Second.
Mr. Chandler? Any questions or discussion?
It is a balanced budget with no tax increase.
Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion passes. I would like to commend the Finance Committee, but also Mr. Price for all the work with the departments, starting on this in July, and now it having conclusion 6 months later. But this is, and I think we say it almost every year, it just keeps on getting more strategic, more comprehensive, and much, much easier to read. And we have a history now of many, many years, which budgets in the past, at least when Colton and I started, and likely Coletta, were just, random pages put together with charts. It didn't really tell you too much. So this is down to the penny of what we are spending. And you can see that and it's a public document out there. So commending Mr. Price and also Finance Committee. Anything else? Okay. Infrastructure and land use, Mr. Chandler.
Thank you. I'll start with the DCED $325,000 grant for pedestrian and other business district improvements. This has all been discussed many times, but I'm going to reiterate a lot of this information. This grant has no match requirement and is fully DCED funded with no borough funds needed. We did not receive the full amount that we had applied for, so we've been exploring how to best use the amount awarded. $325,000 is still significant, but cannot cover all of the improvements that we had initially considered. Over the past several months, we've discussed options with the Planning Commission, Business Development Subcommittee, and the community through a public survey. Feedback has been highly positive, and all proposed types of improvements are in demand. We have three very similar options, each prioritizing the funding in slightly different ways. The next steps at this point are, once council approves one of the three options, we will move to final design and then proceed to construction in 2026. And just a quick brief on what all of the options were. Option number one, which is the current top preference based on the survey results, focuses on lighting improvements around the businesses on Stotts and East Crafton Avenue, along with light pedestrian upgrades around the circle. It also includes improved signage to support traffic flow and better protect the circle. Option number two, it provides more intensive improvements at the circle, including enhanced pedestrian crossings and reconstruction with higher quality materials around the circle itself. And last but not least, option number three includes the most extensive pedestrian improvements at both the circle and East Crafton, creating additional space for amenities such as benches and trash cans. Due to the cost of these upgrades, fewer lights cannot be included within the budget. And at this time, the Infrastructure Committee believes all three options offer meaningful, positive improvements, and each received a strong number of votes. However, option number one did receive the most support, and the committee recommends that council make a motion to proceed to final design based on this option.
And not at this meeting, because it's not on the agenda.
Yes, sorry. Yeah.
So it'll be on,
Next year.
yes.
And then the other update, not anything really to update at this point. The Ewing Road value engineering, the borough is working with the engineers to complete final investigation work to ensure that the borough is ready to go out to bid in early 2026. And that was all I had.
Thank you. Communication and Recreation, Ms. Bollenbacher.
Thank you to everybody who came out for the celebration of lights. It was very cold, but it worked beautifully. We had a vendor little shop that I think went very well, like a vendor market. I think we'll keep that for next year. That was our last, I guess, official event for the year. And Rec Board has already started gearing up for next year. They have a slated event calendar that we will get out early next year once we get some more details, but they're already hard at work. So I just want to give them a huge thanks. They did so much work to do the celebration of lights. So thank you to anyone who helped out. They will need some help breaking them down in January. So we never stop looking for volunteers. So if anybody has some time and wants to help, it would be greatly appreciated. Other than that, our next newsletter will be coming in February. So I don't really have much other update on that. So unless anybody has any questions, that's it for my report.
All right, great. Board Commission Recruiting, Ms. Volcanic.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a handful of motions that I'll be making, but we've just have had a wave recently of openings, so thank you to everyone who's been applying in that process. Again, I can go through that, the application process, but lots of interviews conducted over the past 2 weeks, so thank you to everyone who was able to be involved and work with me on those. So the first one we are going to discuss is our Planning Commission appointment. We had our council member here, Matt Choate, interviewed, and it was a great conversation. So I'm looking for a motion here to appoint Matt Choate to the open Planning Commission seat for a term set to begin on January 1st, 2026 through April 13th, 2027.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Chandler.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Hof. Any questions or discussion?
I can add just a little bit more context too. So on the interview was conducted by Eric, who is the commissioner or the chairperson of the Planning Commission. Also was Kirsten and myself. But we really are listeners throughout that conversation. It is driven by the board chairperson, as all of these meetings and interviews are. So I think with Matt's experience in the work that he has done and the conversation he had with Eric, it just felt very cohesive and all on the same page. And Eric was very pleased with that conversation. So highly recommended his support in this decision too. So just to give a little context into that interview. And this Planning Commission seat recently became available when someone resigned. So it has been posted for a couple weeks at this point. So.
Any other questions, comments? Okay. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
And we should note that, right.
I got it. Okay. Okay. Motion passes.
Great, thank you. Okay, moving into civil service alternate. I know we discussed a little context on this. This position as well, or this seat, has been posted for a very long time. This is an alternate role that has, months, probably a year at this point, for our civil service. So I am looking for a motion to appoint Colton Chandler to the Open Civil Service Commission alternate seat for a term set to expire on February 1st, 2031.
So moved.
Okay. Ms. Bollenbacher.
Second.
Mr. Choate. Any questions or discussion?
I can do the same thing
Yeah.
like I did, if that's fine. I'm only doing it because I think it's silly to say the two things back to back, so I'll give context at the end. As I just mentioned, this seat has been open for a very long time. Colton was very active in the police chief search, has a connection and history with especially Crafton and the police department. So he interviewed with Lynn, who is the chairperson of the Civil Service Commission. Again, just a great conversation, very engaged. Lynn fully supported this motion, so you have the support of the chairperson of this commission. Or chair as well.
I'd like to mention a couple of things. Two, I think one of the reasons that these positions stay open for so long is first that they are 6-year terms, and that's a long time. And then the other thing is, this is the one commission that if you're on, you cannot participate in any of the other boards. So I particularly appreciate that Colton is willing to do this.
And again, this commission does the examinations and
And the rules for civil service and manage everything that has to do with civil service.
the police officers.
Right, with the police
Yep.
officers, which are the only people that are civil service in our organization.
Great. Okay. All right, we'll go to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain.
Okay. Motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Moving into zoning hearing board, I've got two here. First up, I am looking for a motion to appoint Ben Valmont to the open zoning hearing board seat for a term set to begin on January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2028.
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Chandler?
Second.
Mr. Hope? Okay, any questions or discussion?
I'll do the same thing here too.
And Ben is right here.
Ben is
Yeah.
right. For transparency's sake, I will say, right now with the zoning hearing board, the current chairperson moved. So that created an
To
opening.
Ingram. To Ingram.
He moved to Ingram.
Yeah.
He moved. So that created in his, he cannot serve, you have to be a member of the community to be on any of our boards or commissions. So that created almost this domino effect of his seat became available. I'm just going to timeline, if that's okay. Ben's seat was expiring anyhow. But because the person who moved out of the neighborhood was the chairperson, we had to consider how do we conduct these interviews, because as I just mentioned, the chairperson is the leader conducts these interviews along with myself and Kirsten. And we asked Corey, who serves on the zoning hearing board, to fill that role because Ben's seat, he was applying, so he couldn't interview himself, and the other full-time person had just left. So we conducted that with Kirsten, who is very knowledgeable, and myself and Corey. So with that, that is some history on, because I'm going to do the same thing when I do the next one. So
This seat, though, is replacing Ben himself.
yes,
Not
I was
the
just
moved
setting up the
person that
context
moved.
for
Yeah.
why the chairperson was not conducting the interview, because he is no longer here.
Great.
So yes, this has been asking for him to be placed right back into where he belongs.
Any other questions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Great, thank you. All right, so moving another zoning hearing board. Here I am looking for a motion to appoint Chris McCormick to the open zoning hearing board seat for a term set to expire on December 31st, 2027.
So moved.
Okay, Ms. Bollenbacher.
Second.
Oh, Mr. Choate? Any questions?
Yeah, I'm going to, and just remember what I just said, with the chairperson leaving, Chris had been serving in an alternate role. His alternate seat was set to expire at the end of this year. He was very interested in continuing on, even if it was his alternate, but with the moving of the pieces and the parts, he was very interested in serving in a full-time capacity, which I think as an alternate makes perfect sense. So that, again, because we didn't have a chairperson, Corey sat in on that with us, and we had another good conversation. But Chris has been serving in this alternate role and is aware of all of the work that goes into zoning hearing board. So just a little history on that as well.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, so this board does consist of 3 regular members and 2 alternate members that step in if those regular members can't be, but those 3 members are the ones that make the decisions. Civil Service has 3 regular members and 3 alternate members.
Yes.
Right. Any other questions? Right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, last one here, I'm moving into the library board. So here for the library board, I am looking for a motion to appoint Dorothy Kramer to the open library board seat for a term set to expire on May 18th, 2027.
So moved.
Ms. Bolenbacher?
Second.
Mr. Chandler?
And just a little background on this, we have had a seat available on the library board for a while, and we had two wonderful applicants come in. The mayor sat in on the interview, as well as Andrea Marquez, who is on the board for the library board. So it was a great conversation, and we felt you couldn't make a wrong choice with the two library board applicants that we had. So we're very excited. Dorothy has lived in the community a very long time, and she's very passionate about being involved. So we're excited about that.
And Dorothy is on our
Hey,
video
Dorothy's
today.
here.
Yes,
Yep.
so just to acknowledge.
And then just as an update, you had mentioned that the other candidate is going to be taking a
Yes.
seat directly on the library
Yes.
board. So
Yeah.
they're both of the people that we interviewed, which
Yeah.
were great candidates.
They were great. They were great. And it's
They're both
just,
going to become part of
I
the
feel like
library
sometimes
board.
the library board can be a little muddy. Just remember, council has two library seats that we appoint. And this was to fill one of them, as Mayor just mentioned. The other candidate, total rock star, and the library board, their board of trustees, has a seat available as well. So it really was a win-win. We both got great people to serve, so to be on our board. So we have two appointees, and the library board themselves have 5. So.
Great. Any other questions regarding Ms. Kramer? Okay. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Motion passes.
Okay, I'll try to go quickly through this, but with what just happened, thank you all for that, that does kind of shuffle our open positions around a bit. So currently, that will mean we will have a recreation board seat available due to a resignation. So as Aaron just mentioned, the recreation board is hard at work already on 2026. So if anybody knows anyone, or if you're interested, we have something basically mapped out every month except for 3. So we could certainly use the help. The recreation board has a seat available at this time. Zoning hearing board is all taken care of, that particular position. Check. And the last one I'm going to go to, currently with the moves on the zoning hearing board, that does mean we now have an alternate seat available. So if anyone is interested in filling or being on the zoning hearing board, that alternate position is now available.
Well, that was always going to be available. That was open January 1st.
Well, that was where Chris was.
Right, but his
Yeah.
term expires in 3
Yeah,
weeks.
so
Yeah.
just tell your friends. And then upcoming, we're going to have more, but I've already talked more than I normally do on my little report. But we certainly will have some upcoming positions becoming available as the year, as we get into basically like late winter months. So just keep in mind, Rec Board certainly is going to need some people, Shade Tree Commission as well. So we'll keep reminding everybody. I'm happy. The application process couldn't be any simpler. Go to the website, apply, give me 48 hours. I will reach out to you. I will set up an interview. It's a very smooth and lovely process. So, and you get to talk to me.
Great. Thank
I'm
you.
done.
Thank you, Ms. Polkownik. Very well done, and to Ms. Compatello, who
Yeah.
I know takes a lot of time to schedule the interviews and go through all those. Great. The COG, Ms. Bolenbacher.
The only announcement is our last meeting of the year is next Thursday, December 18th, in North Fayette at 6:30. It is the Christmas party, so if anybody wants to come with me, aside from food that they always give, you can get a present too. So if anybody wants to go, please let me know as soon as possible, because I need to RSVP for whoever wants to go. That's it.
Great, thank you. All right, community announcements. So our next council meeting is Monday, January 5th at 7 o'clock. That is our reorganization meeting. So that's where our new council members and our mayor will be sworn in at that meeting, in addition to selection of lots of services, including president, vice president, president pro temp, our solicitor, our auditors. All of those positions will be done at the reorganization meeting. We will also, given that we canceled the council meeting right after that, we may have some additional agenda items of things that need to be taken care of, like the invoices and things like that. Employment opportunities, we did approve one substitute crossing guard. One more is needed, so anybody interested can apply on the website. And then, I don't know, Mayor, if you want to go through the next one on Santa coming?
All right, well,
yes.
as usual, over many years, Santa will be coming around on the fire truck on Saturday the 20th, starting at 9 o'clock, whether he's going to be on the fire truck itself or in the smaller cart, I don't know. So we will have Santa, Mrs. Claus, and our volunteer firefighters will be going through the streets. So here, Thornburg and Roslyn Farms. So listen for the sirens and coming out and wave to Santa.
He came on a fire truck on Saturday too. That must be his thing.
He likes our fire truck.
Yes.
He does like our fire
He
truck.
does. All right. Holiday garbage collection. So again, we have garbage collection on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays for Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Those Thursday and Fridays will be pushed one day to Friday and Saturday instead. Of course, no garbage pickup on Thursdays. Borough office hours are all listed on the agenda for everybody to look at. Christmas Eve, all January 1st, all of those days. Anybody else have any community announcements?
I wish everyone a happy holiday.
Yes, for sure.
It's going to be quite a while before we meet up
Yeah.
after the reorg meeting,
Yes.
which is usually really short.
Right, yep. So now we have public comment. So at this time, citizens may address the Crafton Borough Council on any issue. Only residents and taxpayers of the Borough of Crafton will be permitted to address the council. Speakers will be permitted to speak for a maximum of 3 minutes. Groups of people will be required to designate a spokesperson that can speak for 5 minutes. Council has the option to respond or not at the end of the address. Again, the solicitors are assigned timekeeper. Please state your name and physical address for the record. So for anybody here, you just raise your hand, and then we'll go to Zoom, where they can also raise their hand. Oh, I can't see. Crystal?
Thank you, everyone. Crystal Beam, 57 Belvedere Street. I just want to thank everybody for coming to Home for the Holidays, book launch and history tour at the Cafe 412 Events Center on Friday. We had an amazing turnout. We launched the oldest known history book of Crafton. That book is currently available for a donation of $30 at the Blue Snell what do I want to call it? The Blue Snell Gift Shop on East Crafton Avenue. She had a nice little event tonight. It was a sip and shop event, so she was looking to bring customers in. I would highly recommend patronizing her business, but she will have the books available. We had a lovely video that was put together by a gentleman in Ingram, and it got into the early history. John was there. I know Coletta baked some cookies. We had some wonderful bakers. I just want to thank everyone, whether you donated your time, whether you baked cookies. Even Dorothy, she was Mrs. Claus. We had Mr. and Mrs. Claus in the North Pole on the third floor of my home. We had 2 little kids show up, which was sweet. They had a lot of questions for Santa. It was a lovely event, and it was nice to see the community come together and break bread and just kind of launch the holidays. So I just want to thank everyone, so that if we forget to thank you in the future, know that we appreciate everything that you do. And, you know, we're here, we're not going anywhere, and we're here to preserve Crafton stories as long as we go forward. So if anybody's ever interested in joining the board, we're always looking for new volunteers. We have 7 board members and a handful of volunteers that we expand and contract with, and they truly do make the difference. So I just want to thank everybody. And John, I know you were there. I think Mary Luxbacher was there. She won a house history and one of our books, which was kind of nice. I don't even know who else. Oh, Greg, you were there too, and Linda. So Greg and Linda were there. I have to say, just it's so nice to see people come together. And I think our market is small because not everybody's interested in the past. Everybody wants progress and they want to move forward, which is kind of what you do. And we want to hold on to what was. So anyway, I just want to thank you.
Well, Crystal, so I want to thank you because the amount of work that you put into that was way more than I would have ever expected. And as I went through the night, including opening your home and the decorations of your home, how you advertised, got the book together, organized all the people, the millions of cookies that were too many, because I ate too many, and all the drinks and everything, like, that is dedication like I've never seen, and I want to commend you on that because that was super, super impressive. I had so much fun. I told you I got home at 10:30. It was a very late night, but it was a wonderful, wonderful.
I give all the credit to the team. It really
But
does take an army to
it's
pull
the
these
leader.
things off,
It's the
and
leader.
we didn't want to just roll out a book. We wanted to make it extra special, and I will tell people that the author says Crafton is a place of homes for home-loving people. I'm one of those home lovers, and as many of you are, and we wanted to live it. We wanted to show it, and we wanted to kind of share our Whispering Walls product, where if your walls could talk, what would they say? We can promote that anywhere in Allegheny County, and we have a big plan to really push that mission forward going into the new year. So it's a lot of work. But we truly enjoy what we do. So thank you again.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yep.
All right. Anybody else? Greg.
Greg Wozniak, 1773 Bar Avenue. I just wanted to say that it was a fantastic event. Everybody there seemed to enjoy themselves. It was really well put together. I have another question, and that is now that you passed the zoning ordinance, I was wondering, could you please give us a step-by-step detailed plan on what steps are coming up with this when it goes into effect, whether or not it has to be filed with the county, when. So if you can give us a extremely detailed process going forward.
Thank you. Steve, do you want to say?
I don't want to misspeak, but we will be sending it to the county, and I think it goes into effect once the county receives it, but I'm not sure. But we can get that put online.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Anybody online, please raise your hand. Sandy or Barb? All right, hearing none. For 2025, meeting again. Thank you to Colton. Thank you to Matt. This is your last council meeting, and we are meeting adjourned at 8:12. Thank you, everyone.